Engineering mechanics lab is parallel beam, wherein we use a parallel force apparatus to determine support reactions for a simply supported beam. The main apparatus required in this lab is a simply supported beam apparatus consisting of a graduated beam supported at two ends on compression spring balances, sliding hooks and weights. This experiment is based on principle of moments, which states that if a system of coplanar forces is acting on a rigid beam and keeping it in equilibrium conditions, then first summation of all vertical forces is 0, summation of all horizontal forces is 0, as well as the algebraic sum of their moments at any point in their plane is also 0. Now consider our graduated beam of length L. This length is calculated from the center of these two pins, and for convention purposes we consider this as support A and this as support B. Also we know that this length is calculated from the center of the pins is equal to 102 centimeters. Using these sliding hooks, we can adjust the length of these weights on this graduated beam, and keeping that in mind, since this is your reaction point A, this becomes your length L1 and this becomes your length L2, which means that L1 is the length from support reaction A for weight 1 and L2 is the length from support reaction A of weight L2. Also, RA and RB are the observed reactions at support A and B, and RA dash and RB dash are the theoretical reactions at support A and B. So the main purpose of your experiment is to observe and to experimentally obtain different values of RA and RB, and meanwhile find the error from the theoretical reactions RA dash and RB dash. Now calculation of RA dash and RB dash, that are your theoretical reactions, are done by these equations, wherein we first apply law of moments at support B. So the moment about support B would be summation MB, and we know that the beam is in equilibrium, so it should be equal to 0. Applying these equations, this is your support reaction B. So our equation becomes weight 1 multiplied by the distance from support B, which is equal to L minus L1. Since L1 is this distance and L is this distance. Similarly, second portion, weight 2 multiplied by this distance, which becomes L minus L2. L minus L2 plus reaction from RA multiplied by this length L. Now here we notice the difference in signs for these moments. Moments because of weights is considered negative, while moment because of the support reaction is considered positive. It is very simple, since reaction is vertically upward and these weights are vertically downward, hence there is a change in direction, so there is a change in positive and negative sign as well. From calculation we observe RA dash equals to weight 1 multiplied by the distance L minus L1 plus weight 2 into L minus L2 divided by the entire length. Similarly, if you apply law of moments at support reaction A, we observe summation of MA should be equal to 0, and similarly we have weight 1 multiplied by length L1 minus weight 2 multiplied by length L2 plus reaction from RB multiplied by the whole length L. And again, by simple arithmetic, simple calculations, we observe RB is equal to weight 1 into L1 plus weight 2 into L2 divided by whole length L. These are the equations from which you get theoretical reactions for support A and B. You have to find the mean error between these theoretical reactions and your observed reactions RA and RB, which you obtain by the experimental procedure. Also from these equations we understand that this experimental setup is not limited to just two weights. Instead we can change the number of weights and simply adjust the same in these equations and change our further calculations. Now, before we start the experiment, the first thing that you need to do is note the initial readings of these compression spring balances, RAO and RBO. Technically, these readings should be 0. If not, it only means that these readings are equal to the weight of this rigid beam. But we tend to start our experiment by adjusting these needle to point 0, which can be done easily by just rotating the screw at the end of these spring balances. By doing this, we have made 3 different changes. First, we have neglected the weight of this rigid beam as well as these hangers. Second, we have removed any zero error in these spring balances which can affect our further observations and further readings. Third, we have made sure that our initial readings RAO and RBO of the spring balances is now 0. If not so, then during calculations these readings would have to be adjusted, and so we have only made one step easier for us. Now, place these sliding hooks on predetermined lengths with weights on it. These lengths, as I said before, is L1 from support reaction A, L2 from support reaction A. Make sure you don't consider this as L2 and this as L1. L1 is distance from support reaction A of weight W1. L2 is the distance of support reaction A from weight W2. Another thing that you need to know is, although this beam is 102 centimeters long from center of pin to pin, the zero of this graduated beam is at the center. So while making the calculations for L1 and L2, you read the scale accordingly and not make any errors. After placing these sliding hooks at certain fixed positions in these grooves, you read values for RA and RB from the compression spring balances. These become your observed reactions for the supported beam. This is the point if RA and RB was not 0, RAO and RBO was not 0, now you make the changes, subtract the same from RA and RB and put in your observation table. These becomes your final reactions. Similarly, for the same position, the second step is to calculate RA dash and RB dash, which is your theoretical reactions. Now, for one fixed position, you have 2 sets of readings: observed reactions RA and RB, and theoretical calculated reactions RA dash and RB dash. The main step now is to find the errors in these readings, which is done by RA minus RA dash. That becomes your error in reading from support reaction A, and RB minus RB dash, which becomes the error in reading from support reaction B. Similarly, using this formula, you find the percentage error in both the readings. For RA, it becomes RA minus RA dash divided by RA and not RA dash multiplied by 100. This becomes your percentage error. Similarly, for RB, it will be RB minus RB dash over RB into 100. That becomes your percentage error for support reaction readings B. This completes your one set of reading. Take 5 or 6 different readings by simply changing the locations and the positions of these sliding hooks. These changes L1 and L2, and accordingly RA and RB changes, and hence RA dash and RB dash changes. So take similar 5 to 6 readings, and at the end of it you have to calculate mean percentage error for RA and RB both from all those 5 and 6 readings.